You're so sorry. Your 4 mana got rid of 1 permanent of my choice.
That's a
not
bad
fair.
card. It's
not fair.
That is bad. So, that's it.
Whoa. Welcome to May the Zoo be with you, America's favorite MTG, Pokemon, and nothing else ever again podcast. I am, of course, joined by the #1 Lorcana fan without a topic, even though we're not talking about it, Donald!
Hello.
And I'm also joined by the United States' #1 sorcery content creator, who also doesn't have a sorcery topic, Louis DeGeorge.
Wow. And we're joined by Josh from Hometown TCG. Go subscribe to his channel. You missed, I thought you were going to actually dig on me. My basement flooded for the 4th time, and that's not the dig. That's not the...
No, that's a source.
A man whose basement hates him. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's... Listen, we joke on this podcast. I don't aim to hurt. At this point, 4 times is too many.
Yeah, no, at this point, it's like, I'm a pro at it. I didn't even flinch. I was just like, oh, there it is.
Are you no longer the owner of your TCG business, but rather the captain?
That's not true. Actually,
he had a peg leg.
I screamed.
Donald, you're right. He had a peg leg.
I wanted so bad to buy him. Like, I looked for it on Amazon, but couldn't find it. I wanted to find like a parrot that would set on his shoulder, so he could walk around with a parrot. Because I mean, every captain needs a parrot. But
I want you to know that when you had your peg leg, I made a lot of jokes at your expense.
That's good. I'm glad to be of service to you all and make your days better. That is awesome. Well, we're going to talk about lots of Magic stuff today, lots of Pokemon stuff today. Before we get there, make sure you go subscribe to Scruffy Looking Gaming over on Donald's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to Hometown TCG on Josh's channel. Go hang out there. If you're not subscribed to the podcast here, subscribe to this channel. And go shop at KitchenTableTCG.com. Join the Discord server there. All right, today we're going to talk about the Commander Banned and Restricted announcement. We're going to talk about Magic's inability to make digital products equal to was it Final Fantasy? Equal to
Spooderman.
Spooderman, and probably the rest of the Marvel sets.
It is the rest of Marvel sets.
And we're going to talk about the new Secret Lair that they increased the foil prices. So lots of Magic topics, and then we're going to talk about Pokemon, the Battle of Team Rocket. What is it? I messed that up already. The
glory of Team Rocket.
The glory of Team Rocket. The spoilers for the Team Rocket set.
You specifically told Donald and I, don't look at this, don't do any research or put in any effort on this until the recording starts.
Yeah, because we're going to go through the cards together. We're going to look to see if you guys like them. It's going to be great. It's going to be the best Pokemon has ever been on this YouTube channel.
Well, you just told us to do that and then followed us up with that by asking us what the name was.
Well, I had just said it to you like 5 minutes ago.
You told us not to listen.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Actually, I told you not to talk. But anyway, so Commander Banned and Restricted announcement. How many millions of dollars did you guys lose on your specs buying into Tolarian Academy and Mox, whatever the one from Commander Masters is?
Jeweled Lotus and Dockside. How many millions of dollars did you lose?
I just have a different philosophy, I guess, on like I don't own any Magic cards now, but like I didn't, whenever they would ban cards, I never sold them. I always kept, like, I never was like, oh man, I got to dump this card quick and then wait until I think it's going to get unbanned and then buy it back. I've never understood that philosophy. Like, I just always kept all my cards. So to me, like, stuff moving on and off ban lists never really affected me, but I remember the hype of every time there was a BNR announcement that Stoneforge Mystic would shoot up in price, and like it's always been happening. It's been going on forever. It's just, people try and read the market, and then
this one though, it felt like because this is so new and it's beyond the rules committee now, and it's Magic, is like it felt like there was a lot more at stake on this one, and then they just did the opposite of I think what anybody would have thought they would do. Like nobody was talking about these 5 cards 2 weeks ago.
No, I think it's kind of shocking that that we just got a complete 180. It's like, here's a list of unbanned cards that no one even thought about, and the stuff that you thought was going to happen, we're not even going to touch on that.
Yeah.
So, like, no one was people were expecting like more banned cards or something like that, but not like just unban all this stuff.
It was fun to see all the YouTubers talking about the cards that they were buying. I thought that was like my favorite content I was just like watching to see what people were buying. It was kind of cool.
So I don't want to do too much revisionist history here, but it's on tape, so you can go back. You can watch the tape.
Me saying that they should unban.
I said there's no chance they reverse the bans because they can't have this massive controversial thing take it over, say we're taking it over because the views so violent, and then the first thing they do is undo the last act of that regime like completely.
Right.
I just don't think you can do that, right? I didn't see that happen.
They can do whatever they want.
I
don't think they really care about repercussions.
I could quit my job and run around my office naked for the rest of the night, but I'm only going to do one of those two things. Like we could do whatever we want, but that doesn't mean we're going to.
You're only going to do one of those two things?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Call me later.
FaceTime.
Yes.
So I agree, Josh. I mean, I agree that that's the, and they go into that I thought the article was really well done. I thought Gavin, the way that he worded things, and at the end he kind of goes into the Jeweled Lotus and kind of says, this is the card from the, we know everybody was kind of talking about those three cards. Jeweled Lotus is the closest to getting unbanned. I still love that they are calling the tier system or the bracket system beta. I really like that, and I think like that is where I think you see the most Commander ban and restricted change. I think eventually, I really do believe you will see a tier list added I felt like the thing that they were doing in this article mostly was saying, hey, we want to see mass adaptation of the tier list. Before we get into the bracket system and changing it and all that, we want to see people really adapt to it and accept it. And I like that they are acknowledging that we're not there yet. Like, we're not at the point where everybody likes the bracket system.
Well, the bracket system answers a lot of the banned questions, right? By saying like, hey, if you want to fall into this pool, you can only have a certain number of these in your deck, and Commander being the not the most consistent format in the world, it allows you to have more power available and limit your players to what they can build if they want to play, in that lane. So I like that they expanded on the bracket system, but I don't want to jump off the bans quite yet, because I want to say what you said you liked about, they went in depth on these cards. What I don't like is them saying, hey guys, that Jeweled Lotus, this one might still get unbanned. So maybe. I don't like that. That felt weird to me.
Why?
Well, Jeweled Lotus is the only card of those three that, like, it doesn't have a home anywhere else. If Jeweled Lotus isn't in Commander, what do you do with it? I mean, Mana Crypt can get played in Legacy and Vintage and stuff, and the same with Dockside. It could get played in those other formats, but like, there's just no reason to play. So Jeweled Lotus might as well just not exist at that point. So I think it makes sense to unban Jeweled Lotus. Put it on the game changer list, whatever. I get what you're saying. It's kind of like holding the carrot out there and be like, keep specking on this, because we might unban it.
It's like the date that tells you, like, no, we're not going to be together right now.
Yeah,
maybe in the future. You just never know. Just hang out there, wait for me. Like,
we kind of got friend zoned by Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin Verhey called us personally and friend zoned this podcast. It was hurtful, but we still have hope, guys. We're hanging in there.
I mean, in CDH, like, Jeweled Lotus is fine, but I don't want to see Jeweled Lotus in like a tier 1, 2, 3 deck, whatever. But like, put it on the game changer list and let it be played in CDH, whatever. But
if you have heavily limited game changers, right? Let's say that game changers list continues to expand, and like, you want to use one of your game changer slots on a Jeweled Lotus to ramp out something faster that still probably just dies to removal. Like, I don't see the problem with it being banned. Again, my only problem is I just don't like the way that they hung it out in front of us. I also don't think it's that big of a deal if it's a card that, hey, we made this, didn't pan out, don't make it again. That's not that big of a deal to me.
I think I kind of like the carrot and the stick, man.
Do you?
I think I kind of like.
I got to take on that, buddy.
I kind of like the idea that they are aware of the effects on the economy of the game, and that they want to see that kind of. It acknowledges that they understand the value of.
See you set your money on.
No, it acknowledges that they understand the value of cards like that and speculation in the market and speculation in the economy of Magic. I think that's healthy.
You went there.
Huh?
I love that you went there because I have a very aggressive speculation take about this ban Commander in particular.
What's that?
I think the dangerous part of this is it opens people who are not familiar with the Magic the Gathering market and not the most in tune to everything, because they're more casual Commander players, to get wind of this and to be, oh, they got their first experience. This is going to get unbanned. This is getting unbanned. This is good. And then it doesn't happen. And you're like, oh, wait, what just happened? But you're casual. You're casual people that aren't going to know about the Banned and Restricted. They don't even know that this stuff exists anyway. There's a whole pool of casual people that would never, on a sets release, speculate on cards. But this announcement particularly, and Commander bans probably as a whole, gets them to dabble into that. And more often than not, I think it ends poorly for that group of individuals. I
think the percentage of people who are speculating on Magic Commander bans is incredibly tiny. Like, absolutely incredibly.
I wildly disagree with that.
Really?
Dude, everything's incredibly tiny as a whole, right?
I would say 1 in 10,000 Commander players speculate on the ban list. Whatever percentage that is.
I don't have a frame of reference for what.
It depends on what you consider. Like, do you mean buying one copy for yourself, or do you mean buying 1,000 copies to resell?
No, I mean, like, people who are actively buying just to speculate out. I think that is a very, 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 very tiny fraction of a percentage of the Commander population.
But sure, I think people who speculate on any Magic cards is a tiny fraction of the Magic population. But I think this announcement and the Commander bans as a whole, the way this announcement went down to, these are banned, big drama, these are going to get unbanned, brought in a larger group of people than would normally be there. And those people, if this was their experience, they got wrecked.
But look, we can't say, we go around
play stupid games, win stupid prizes, man.
But they don't know they're playing stupid games, right? Like, they were buying the sure thing. Everyone's like, these are guaranteed to get unbanned, and no, they just weren't. They just weren't. They got wrecked.
I think we see a world where it moves into a more like what format does this already? Canadian Highlander, I think, does this, but it's
point system.
It's like Warhammer with a point system, and I think that's really, really, like, you put Jeweled Lotus in the point, it's 20 points, right?
I mean, it's kind of what you have right now with the
Game Changers. It's a
little bit.
Game Changers is
Game Changers are what?
Game Changers is a minor, version of it. But I think you assign points, and then you just assign these cards that are,
You cannot assign points to every. And we talk about how casual people are. Like, even casual people at MagicCon were in on the bracket system. Even casual people, because again, not everyone who goes to MagicCon is not the most casual. That's not your kitchen table person, but there are casual Commander fans at MagicCon, and they were all aware of the bracket system. You make that to your Llanowar Elves as 2 points, your Forests are 0.
No, you just have a Game Changers list. You have the Game Changer list that has points, basically. So you just have different tiers.
It adds complexity for complexity's sake.
Yeah, but Magic is a complex game. It's not checkers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like people can't understand how to look at a list on the internet and be like, I'm got my deck. And all these websites have that built in. You build your deck on Scryfall or whatever, and it tells you what your points are. It's all doable.
I agree, but that's a complexity that fans are comfortable with, right? Complexity and intricacies we've shown an aversion to as a community for some time now. And think about the intricacies for back and forth play between high level 60 card Magic. Most people are just intimidated by that. They're just going to get stomped and they're out.
I think that you and I have had conversations of complexity based around indie TCGs and new TCGs and the entry ramp to those card games. I think Magic's beyond that. They don't need to be. I mean, they've shown this with the mechanics. Look at, like Duskmorn and like those sets have complex mechanics, but they still brought people in, and new players still can evaluate it because you have the people around you and you have the support system of the Magic community to help you. It's not
a 4-person event that fires once every 3 weeks.
You're not in your basement by yourself trying to figure out how to play the game because there's nobody else to play with.
And the one guy who's training for nationals shows up with his super deck and just stomps through everybody.
I mean, it's just incredibly hard to balance Commander as a whole. It's never going to be like, there's never going to be a perfect system. You can take two of the precons from the same set, and they're just not going to be balanced even among themselves. It's just so hard to do. And I mean, God bless them for trying, but it's just, I don't know. There's just never going to be a way to make it perfect.
No, but that's what the conversation's for, right? I mean, the Game Changers does a good job of starting that conversation, right? And that's why you got to talk to your table.
I think you need a ban list to remove the problems, and that's where I don't see Jeweled Lotus. I don't see Jeweled Lotus as a problem. I don't see Mana Crypt as a problem. Dockside is not. I don't play CEDH, but I don't see that as a problem.
They're all fast mana is the argument. Right. So but like in CDH,
let the boys play. Let them play the game, man. Let them take it out.
I found the guy pub stopping bracket 3 all day long. I found him in this chat.
Yeah, I get it. I understand that, but I'm saying like eventually, once Commander they figure this out, I think they're just going to let it play. And I think we've said this 100 times. CEDH needs a ban list, and
it's its own thing. Yeah. It should be a whole other format.
Totally agree.
Get in there.
Let it just be its own thing, and then keep its own ban list, its own, if they want to do Game Changers, whatever for it. And then like the rest of the Commander should be something that they should be two totally different things.
Yeah. Now that makes if you make a move and get a little more differentiation between your bracket, so the 5 slot opens up, because right now the 5 slot is kind of CEDH, right?
It's also the same as 4. Like there's no real.
I even forgot there were 5 brackets.
Yeah, there are 5, but 4 and 5 are like the exact same thing,
right? So if you just make 5 what is, and then you allow maybe power level 1 is your for fun, 2 is your precon game changer, your level 3 you can have 2 game changers, then you got 4, and then you can have 6, and then above that is CEDH, right? It does allow for a little more variety there.
Yeah, I think what Donald's saying is that CEDH should just not be part of the bracket system at all.
I'm agreeing with him, and that would free up a tier to spread stuff out more.
Yeah. All right, let's go. You guys want to go through the cards and
I just want to talk about the unbanned cards.
Yeah. That's all they did. They didn't ban anything. But Gifts Ungiven you're mad about because you want to buy them all up.
Yeah, because it's a candidate for my favorite Magic card of all time. Shout out Kamigawa Standard Gifts Ungiven combo. Greater Gifts. Let's go is the first deck I played at a
Gifts Ungiven is a wild unbanned to me. Like that
really?
That shocked me.
Yeah.
That card is good.
It opens
up very good
combos. Like,
I mean, that one shocks me because in the deck that you're playing Gifts Ungiven, it doesn't matter what they choose, whether it's going to your hand or your graveyard, you're going to make use of it. Like that card is just, I was shocked to see them unban that for sure.
I got bought out of I had a bunch of Jace spellbooks listed on TCG Player, and they got bought out and sold, which is great. I like days like that because it's so fun to watch people rush to the market to see. Like Gifts Ungiven is like a $20 card right now, isn't it?
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Up from like a $3 card or something.
No, less than that.
It was 30 cents or something.
Yeah.
Like it was, yeah, it was.
How far? Well, look at how they've massacred my boy.
Yeah.
What they've done.
I love, and then like people came in today to look through our bulk, and like I love that. Like I love, like, go ahead.
Oh, they were trying to
spend 4 hours looking for gifts ungiven in my bulk.
and then when you pull it out, guess what I'm going to charge you?
No, I'll give it. Yeah, take it. It's yours.
Was there a gift son given in the Jace spell book?
Yeah, so I just said I got bought out on them.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was also wasn't there a borderless one in Double Masters that was pretty sick too? Yeah, it's funny. Like those were terrible pulls 2 weeks ago, and now it's fun. Now it's good. Like I like that kind of stuff.
Keep raising my Double Master stocks, baby.
Yeah. Sway of the Stars.
This is the one that I don't understand. You've banned things for toxic play patterns in Commander before. Why'd we unban this?
Well, they say we'll see little play, but the people who enjoy cards like this will really good. Like I love how they're like that. But the people who like screwing over everybody and ruining the game will have a lot of fun.
You 100% play this card. This is hilarious.
I mean, it's a 10.
Everyone at the table hates you. As soon as you cast this card, you're not invited back.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to play any more Commander. It's Sway of the Stars all day long.
I don't understand this unban. This one doesn't make any sense. It does not add anything to the game.
Another card from an incredible era in Magic, by the way.
It's cool artwork.
Insane era in Magic. Yeah. My childhood essentially got unbanned today. It's wild.
I don't know. That one seems like kind of a miss to me.
What about, avid Commander player Donald? Coalition Victory. The win on the spot Coalition Victory.
I like alternate win cards. Like my favorite Magic card of all time is Approach of the Second Sun.
Of course it is.
I played the crap out of Approach of the Second Sun in Standard. I loved that deck.
That deck is so toxic.
I love it. But this one's kind of weird to me because we just got the Dracogenesis card that basically says you win if you have a creature of one creature of each color.
Yeah.
So this is kind of just a backup win con, I guess.
So did they do this because if you print that card, don't ban that card, and keep Coalition Victory banned, everyone's like, wait, what's going on?
So Coalition Victory, if you have a Sliver Queen out, you win. If you have a 5-color card out, you win, right?
Yeah. And a land of each type.
Yeah.
You have to have a land of. You have to have the lands.
It sees the 5-color creature as all 5.
Yes.
Things, but the Dracogenesis, you have
specifically says has to be
much more difficult.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This is like a backup win con to that. Like it, so that if you're running the Dracogenesis, you probably run the Coalition Victory too, just because you're trying to hit that win con. It's just a backup win con for that.
But it's so easy, and I know that suggesting that commanders play targeted removal in the 99 is like, oh, why would you ever do that? But this card can get blown out so bad. Like you put a Coalition Victory on the stack, and you're like, bounce your creature of 5 colors. Coalition Victory fizzles. Great.
Right.
Like,
yeah, but I don't know. Like, also you could not have a removal spell in your hand at that moment. I don't like it when games done like this.
But that's the logic for any combo commander deck.
I don't like combo
commander deck. The one time I played Commander with you played Insane Infinite Combo.
No, I didn't. I don't even know how to do that.
Your zombie deck is a combo deck.
You did. Yes, you did. You played a zombie deck, and you said, "I go infinite now."
Deck back there. That's the only deck. And I do the same combo every day. It's Thornbite Staff. I just make a bunch of mana and a bunch of zombies. It's fun. That is fun.
And you do it in perpetuity?
A little bit different than this. This is just like I just win the game. I didn't do anything special. That one you have to do something
my
special.
point
You're
is,
making
have a
zombies. It
removal.
fits the theme.
But if you have a removal, you stop the combo. The same thing goes for any commander combo deck. If you happen to have removal at the right time, you stop the combo. That's how it works. That's how Magic works, guys.
This one just seems like you're not actually doing anything.
The card is not like a instant win. I mean, there's tons of ways around it. But if you're going to spend 8 mana to try and win the game, then if you're gonna whiff, then you whiff. I mean, like,
okay, guys.
Chances are, if someone does something to interrupt you winning, then you just swing and kill them anyway. At that point, if you've got the creatures of each color and you had 8 mana to speed, right? Like, you're probably just swinging out
dragons. Okay.
It's like, look, you can either let me win by casting this, or I'm just gonna stomp you with all my dragons. So, like, which would you prefer?
I think you hate fun, so you don't like Coalition Victory. And Coalition Victory is a sweet card where you get to see people charging to victory at an art, and I'm into that.
Okay. How about Panoptic Mirror? I had never heard of this card before. Not gonna lie to you.
Another card.
I had never ever heard of this card before.
Wonderful.
Is it just Isochron Scepter? It's basically the same card, right?
But you get to cast it. No, you cast it without paying its mana cost. So you put a extra turn spell on this thing.
Oh, and then you just get
at the beginning of your upkeep, you get an extra turn.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, so this thing was banned, but like, that's most of the time that's a 10 mana play, right? It's 5 mana one turn, 5 mana the next turn, and then you got to get to an upkeep.
Right.
So
yeah, it's a lot of setup for sure.
Yeah, they kind of go into there's a lot of artifacts removal these days. I see, like my thing with all these is like, yeah, it's fine because it goes into the game changer slot. You know what I mean? Like, there's it's like the same thing as if there was a number connected to it. And this is why I think you just add all the cards back in.
Now braids.
Are you playing against the person who shows up with the braids deck?
I don't think braids is that bad. Like, you play it on turn 4, it does nothing, and until the next person's upkeep. Like, if someone doesn't have removal, then sure, but like, there's a lot of removal.
Everything makes a blood token now. Everything makes a treasure token. Everything makes a 1/1 when it comes into play. Like, this doesn't seem like that big of a deal.
This is the type of card I wish they could add a caveat that's like banned as your commander.
Why?
Because I don't want to play against this as a commander, but I'm fine with it in the 99. Like, I don't want to show up to the table and have to play against this every single 3 turns. You're going to recast it. Like, you remove it and it goes back to the command zone. It's the same thing with what was the companion that everybody wanted unbanned, and they're like the otter.
Lutri.
Yeah, everybody wants that to be banned only as a commander, but allowed it to be in the 99 because then you get like another otter, and it's a cool card.
Yeah, and like the companions, the reason Lutri's banned is just because it goes in every deck automatically.
Right.
But like the companions can still be played as your commander, not Lutri because he's banned, but like you can't use them as the companion slot, but you can use them as your commander already.
Right.
You can't use companions in commander, correct?
Not the companion ability, like not the outside they can't be outside the right. deck, which is what
in the 99, or if they're legendary, the commander.
Right. You can use them right now as like all companions aren't banned just because they're companions. Just the companion ability is what's I guess because there is no sideboard in commander, and they have to live in the sideboard.
I guess my problem with braids, or my problem with people's complaint about braids, is like, okay, my disaster scenario, turn 4. Braids comes down, and if I haven't done anything by turn 4,
your game sucks. Imagine you're land screwed already. You haven't done anything. Magic already has that problem. I don't need to play against this too, and now be down to 2 lands because I haven't been able to cast anything. Now the next turn I don't draw a land. Now I'm down to 1 land. I'm not even playing the game now.
I mean, I just think that if Braids is the person's commander and you're sitting at the table with that, you've got 4 turns to hold up a removal spell in your hand. I mean,
Yeah, but
like,
what if you get land
that makes a treasure token. Cast something that makes any kind of.
What if I've got 2 lands, guys? If I got 2 lands, it's
then
just
then it doesn't.
bad deck builder, and you make bad decisions on your keeps.
that happens.
It also doesn't matter what commander you're playing against at that point because you're not going to be doing anything if you only have 2 lands. Your game is over.
It's a bad card. It's a bad card. It should be banned.
You're so sorry. Your 4 mana got rid of 1 permanent of my choice.
It's a
not
bad
fair.
card. It's
not fair.
That is bad card design. It's
not
a bad
fair,
card.
guys.
It's bad unless Louis was playing it. He wouldn't mind playing it.
I would never build that.
I gotta get rid of 1 of my
lazy.
infinite zombies.
It's lazy.
Cheaters.
That is lazy card design. It's a bad card. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't like the art either.
It's got weird, like, purple lips.
Yeah, I want to look at that all day.
I mean, that's what happens when you join the cabal.
It looks like she drinks a lot of red wine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, like, does she braid her own hair?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. It's weird. You're an adult.
Maybe she's just born that way, and that's how she got called Braids.
Do you think because the name is Braids that she braids her?
Look at her hair. It's
maybe
braided.
Braided. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the most unbelievable
I
thing?
think
Magical spells and bears.
this is now getting into the question: should adult women braid their hair or not? It seems weird.
Why is that a question?
Hold on, no. I have a very strong stance on this.
Yeah.
I won't tell an adult woman anything to do with her body. That
Oh,
seems
God.
pretty clear here. I'm out.
Oh.
Apparently, you can't braid your hair though if you're
Trying to get canceled? Are you... Hey, let me do my best to end this podcast.
I like that they went through the rest of the cards too and told you if it's going to get banned or unbanned. I'm Team Emrakul gets unbanned, by the way. They said it's close.
So Emrakul's fine, but Braids is where you draw the line.
Yeah.
There's literally no. There's all right. Louis DeGeorge is now the leader of the commander section of Wizards of the Coast. And
my
I'm
answer is
up on vibes.
no.
Unban-
Unban everything.
She looks creepy. Too much wine. Banned.
Unban
Creepy,
everything.
crawly, tentacly space monster.
Let's go back to just the legendary dragons that could be your commander. It's now just EDH.
That would be fun. Except, I think it would be pointless to ever cast it with the power of the rest of it.
Right. You just don't. It's just there. You just never cast it.
It's just like, I just want this color pie.
Yep.
What card on the list do you want unbanned most?
Donald?
That's on the commander ban list now.
Yeah.
I was really upset when they banned Iona. She's the one that basically shuts down a whole color.
Yeah.
So it shuts down monocolored decks, but that's what you get for playing a monocolored deck.
You deserve it.
Right. I was mad because my first commander deck was an angel tribal deck, and I bought the From the Vault angels to get all those cool treatments, and I had the From the Vault Iona, and when they banned it, I was really sad because it looks so cool.
I want Raphaelos back, or I don't know if he was ever in it, but I want to play giant elf tribal, mana dork tribal with Raphaelos. I've always wanted to do that. It will never happen,
No.
but I want it.
No, it won't.
I want it bad.
But you can dream.
Yeah. I
I
like
think
elves, man. I'm an elf. I like elves.
those go infinite too.
Yeah, that's what I like doing.
I don't like this play pattern. This is lazy
I
design.
don't like that one collation victory.
Lazy design. It's the answer is upheaval. If we're unbanning Sway the Stars, and we're not unbanning upheaval, where I can't float mana and upheaval Psychotog and say go, I'm out.
It's just a I don't know. Board sweepers it's just boring to me. I'm like one
You
of those
hate
people,
when there's any interaction in your Magic.
No, I don't. I hate it when people reset the game because I like when I play Commander. I'm like, all right, it's been half an hour. Somebody wins so we can do anything else. Not play this current game.
I thought George was out this week.
No, I like playing. I just like after 30 minutes. If nobody wins after 30 minutes, it's kind of like
you should try 60 card constructed. It's if this is
when
how
I
you
play
feel.
when I play constructed, I just play burn, so I can either win or lose and move on. And it's like that's what happened.
I've played constructed with you, and it's never been burned.
Have you played constructed with me?
Yeah,
What did we play?
we played Pauper, and then we played my two
My
Pioneer decks.
Pauper Elf deck, but that's way faster than burn. Like my Pauper Elf deck is basically the same thing.
Not true. My Pauper burn deck always beats your Pauper Elf deck.
Yeah, Pauper Elf does not do good against burn.
Like trickery.
The card's
Bane
fine.
of your
Yeah,
I just love the fact that you hate interaction in your Magic. Let me do
don't
don't
hate
touch my
interaction.
toys. I'm playing over here. No touchy.
I hate games that last longer than 35.
which is wild that he doesn't like Lorcana because there's no interaction in
No touchy.
Lorcana.
I feel like
Lorcana's super
why am
no
I
touchy.
getting wrecked here? Donald, do you like Commander games that last longer than 40 minutes?
I don't like Commander
It
games.
was 30
so-
10 minutes ago.
No, I said 30 to 45.
No, you just said 30, buddy.
I don't think so.
Go to the tape.
You did say 30.
Go to the tape.
All right, whatever. Comment section.
That's right. Say whatever. Move on. Yeah, move
All right.
on. Feel into your life. Get out.
What's our second match? Oh, okay, so this one's so good.
Pretty good.
I can't talk about this with a straight face. So the new oh my gosh, hold on, let me pull it up so I don't
Hold on. Remember, there's contractor disputes. Make sure to call it Spooderman.
How do I open link? Does that do it? I'm building a new computer, everybody, so that I can do this without
Donald's brother's building a new computer.
sorry. Well, I'm funding a new computer.
I'm paying for it.
And Donald's middlemaning.
Donald was literally texting between me and his brother the other day. He just sent me his brother. It was good.
That's awesome.
So I can't even talk about this with a straight face because it's so ridiculous to me. With the announcement of Marvel sets, we will not have the same set in Arena. Instead, we will have Through the Omen Paths, which is the universes within. Why did they call this universes within? By the way, can we just get there? They're going to do the same set, but have it be Magic flavored and Magic themed in Arena because they didn't say this, but the reality is they couldn't get the license to the Marvel digital gameplay because of things like Marvel Snap and the Marvel.
Not things like.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's because of Marvel Snap.
So now the developer, the designers, and the creative team have to make a Marvel set and then make the exact same cards. All, let's call it what, 300 cards? Let's say something like that.
They're just gonna pull stuff out of the bin of previously suggested card names and art and be like, sure.
I said this is where the AI comes in. They'll do all AI art for the set. I mean, because it's completely digital. They're not going to commission new art. They'll just AI all the way.
You can't convince me they don't have a ton of cards that didn't make the final cut with card names and art already on them, that they can't be like, they're not matching up and being like, okay, we have 60% of the set already made.
So you think this will be like no theme, just like thrown together?
I seriously doubt they put. I mean, they're basically designing two sets for every one set. So I don't know why they would put that much effort into it, honestly, just for digital.
Isn't Arena a big deal to them, or is it not?
Yeah,
But I don't think it matters what you're putting on the cards and all. Like, I mean, people are already going to be upset that it's not Spider-Man, so they're not going to care what it is outside of that. Like, I don't know. It's going to be so confusing though, because like
card names, the same,
the same exact. So, like when you're playing standard, say you're practicing for your local standard store championship. You're like playing one deck on Arena and one deck in paper, but it's the same deck, but it's just so weird.
If the scenario is you're practicing for your store championship, that's not a concern. You'll make the transition just fine.
I just like I think it was, I don't know where they messed up. If it was they decided to put every set into standard, and then they realized afterwards, they're like, oh wait, Spider-Man has to go into standard, which means it has to go on Arena, and we can't do that. I don't know where they came to the realization that, oh man, we messed up somewhere.
It's because my favorite theory on this podcast, that their communication
aunt watches the show.
No, that their communication is just really, really bad between departments.
That's not your favorite theory. That's like number 3 or 4.
What's my favorite theory?
It's got to be Rosewater's aunt. It's got to be your favorite theory.
No, she can never be my favorite.
And anything about the Cocktail Party has got to be up there, top 3.
That was a good day. That was a good one.
That was a good day.
The Cocktail Party was a good one.
So here's good news. They show that they don't completely disregard standard as trash that they don't want to spend any time on. Because the other option was, oops, Spider-Man can't go on Arena. Guess Arena standard's going to be different than paper standard.
I'm surprised that, honestly, I could have seen a world where they do that, where they're just like, oh well, because they have Explorer on Arena, which is
right
Pioneer, but only with the cards that they have in Arena. So it's the same format, but not.
Aren't they actively trying to?
They are, trying to add the cards in.
But that mission, then I think this is the route they go, because there's not incentivized.
Why does that take so long?
To add cards to Arena, I honestly don't know why it's taken this long.
Josh, you're a developer.
Any number of problems could be going on. The development life cycle could be weird. They could be trying to fix a bunch of bugs. They're adding new mechanics. So often, like when you code back and forth any kind of interaction between game objects, and you add a new mechanic that works outside of that system, you have to modify the whole system, right? So there are cards that have broken Arena, like the Scute Swarm. Like Scute Swarm would just cause Arena to crash when it would start making tokens because it makes so many. Like leaks and anything like that. Like these are things that it makes sense to me that it takes a while longer because they keep trying to introduce new mechanics.
It's been a while.
Long time.
It has been a while.
I mean, there's AAA games that have been developed in the amount of time that it's taken to get this thing done.
I don't think they have a AAA game sized team on this project. I think
on the Arena project.
I think they have realized that they can keep a fairly minimal team, will wait for it, and will keep playing Arena and paying money for it. Like there really is no incentive to backfill a lot of those cards.
I'm going to ask a wild question. Donald, what percentage of players at our store do you think play Arena?
I would say at least half.
Really?
What percentage of players at your store have computers?
At least half. I would say half. I mean, I don't even play Magic, and I get on Arena and draft from time to time just because I like to draft.
I think this has always been my criticism of you. You wildly underestimate the number of people who interact with Arena.
No, I do. I hate Arena.
I love Arena.
Magic is such a social thing to me.
Oh,
but that's because you only play Commander. Like Commander is
no. Magic as a whole is just a social thing to me.
I agree with that. Magic's better in person.
It's an excuse for me to go talk to people.
No one is denying that Magic is better in person. But I mean, when you don't have,
I would rather play any other video game than sit and click on Arena.
When I log off tonight and I want to play Magic, I can't go to my game store. I want to play Magic. I can't go to the game store. I'm not going to get out my webcam and play Spell Table to be cheated in Commander. Like
Magic to me is a puzzle. Like I enjoy solving the puzzle, and every game is a new puzzle to solve. And it's just like, to me, it's just that's what I'm doing. I'm doing these complex scenarios and figuring them out, and like that's what Magic is to me. So
Reach, Donald. Whoa, get him, brother.
So like playing it online is, anytime I want that, I have the urge to do that, then that's what it is.
It's not as good, but it gets the fix going. I stop scratching after I play it.
When I learned that arena draft was not real, did you do like the quick draft or whatever, where it was? No, all arena draft is you're not drafting against actual people. And then
they do events too. Yes, they do.
I don't think you do.
Yes,
yeah, you do. I do it all the time.
You did the quick draft where it just like simulates packs you get, and then you get put in a queue and play against people who also packs.
There's two different kinds. There's premium draft and the quick draft. Like
so the premium draft, okay,
you draft against other people.
Drafting against humans, and then when you get paired, you're playing against the same humans.
No.
Oh no, not the playing part.
Right,
you're drafting against other humans.
That's crazy to me.
But why does that break the experience? Because you have no idea.
What do you mean you have no idea? You haven't, like, when you're playing a draft in an event and there's 8 people, you saw the meta, you saw the way that the cards go around, you saw
the meta.
Huh?
You saw some of the meta, I guess.
You're telling me I could play, there could be a mythic Jace, and it's the only one that got pulled, and I could play against somebody else, and they play a mythic Jace.
But how do you know that could have been their pack one, pick one? You don't see every pack that comes around.
Yeah, but when you draft 12 packs or whatever it is, whatever that math is,
you don't
36. 24 packs. When you draft 24 packs, the odds are it won't happen.
Sure, but never tell me the odds, kid.
You're also not going to convince me that you analyze the picks going around and decide what everybody else's deck is.
I'm not buying it either. I'm buying that you want something to complain about.
I know how you draft, and it's pick all the red cards so that you can play the fastest deck.
I draft all the removal. That's what I do. That's why I always go 2-1.
I like 30-minute games that go longer than 30 minutes. I'm out. However, when I draft only removal, and the first one to deck loses.
I draft flyers and removal, and I go 2-1 every week. That's what I do.
Every week.
Every time I've ever drafted, I've been 2-1.
You've never had a 3-0 draft? You've never won a draft?
When I did Trash Pandas in Bloomborough, I wrecked. Trash Pandas is the best way to play Magic the Gathering. I would draft Bloomborough every single day, and every single day I would force Trash Pandas. It's the most fun way to play Magic.
While he's analyzing what everybody else was drafting.
No, I would not. I would take the one raccoon left.
And he's like, oh, this guy, this game changer slot, a special guest slot, it ruined my experience.
This seems like a huge miss, the Omen Paths thing.
It makes sense contractually, right? But what a fail.
This is the problem with not having your own IP. You know what I mean? They've got to see by now. Surely they've got to see that people come out for Tarkir. Like the numbers have to be there. That they like. People want their core Magic stuff, and if they can hit it right, if they can make a core Magic set that has a good limited experience, has nostalgia, has playability in multiple formats, then like it's just a home run. Listen, Donald, there's nobody in this world that wants to believe what you just said more than me, but I'm not there anymore. Well, I think I've given up.
Just evaluating the practicality of it as well, right? If they were going to do that, they'd be limited to what? I mean, we've discussed it before. One set a year, and I don't think Magic fans would go for it.
Why? Why would they be limited to one set a year?
Because it takes time to correlate all this art and make this awesome product and really develop this back and forth.
Is this like a sorcery jab? Because this went over my head.
He's just jabbing at sorcerer.
No, I am not.
100%.
I am making sure that we have an understanding that some of these things just are not possible.
It was possible for so many years, though. Why was it possible for?
Yeah, but that was in the early 2000s. It cannot be done in 2025.
I think, Don, the bigger problem is that you are evaluating different numbers than Wizards is evaluating. Wizards is evaluating you're evaluating the number of people who show up at an LGS to play in a pre-release, which that will gradually skew higher. I think you're right, to a set like Tarkir that is old school Magic or whatever. Wizards is evaluating the amount of people who buy product on Amazon and the amount of people who spend money on the second part of the Secret Layer thing that comes out, and the amount of money that, I think the distro spend is part of it. And when you have a set like Final Fantasy, where I have Pokemon collectors texting me being like, hey, I heard Final Fantasy is coming out to Magic. Can I get a box? Can I get 2? Can I get 6 cases? When you have this stuff happening, the width is way bigger than Magic ever was. Like, Magic is tiny, and they want to be mainstream. They want to be at the no pun intended here. They want to be at the kitchen table. They want to be the conversation piece at, they want your mom to know what Magic is. That's what they want. So,
Showed your mom what Magic was.
I wasn't going to say it.
No, seriously, we just played Pauper. It was wonderful. It was a really beautiful experience.
Anyway, I think like that's.
I think we get too cynical. I think that is their primary motive. You can't convince me that this big business's primary motive isn't the number of boxes I've sold, the number of money I make. Like that course. But I do think that there is probably a small portion of the team dedicated to people turnout.
Oh, I think the people on the team are great, and I think they.
Right, but those metrics will drive some. There will be takeaways down the road about. There will be some meeting in some conference room somewhere about when it comes to player turnout. Why did Aether Drift fail, and why did Tarkir succeed? They are back to back. They're in the same time. There will be meetings had and discussions had about that. It's just not their primary motive. Their primary motive is how many boxes can I sell to how many different consumers.
Yeah. You would think, though, that those two would be correlated. Like, if people are wanting to come out and play it, then you're going to sell more boxes. You would think that those things would be equal, but I guess...
There's probably a correlation there, but like, I don't know, man. Like, when you consider something like Final Fantasy, Spooderman, or Lord of the Rings, you're going to sell that at Walmart. You're going to sell that at Target. You're going to sell that. People will never sniff the inside of the game store. This is kind of a light version of the Pokemon effect, right? You're walking through there and you see something, you just pick it off a shelf. Why? Because it's got something.
And this is where somebody in a meeting said, "Hey, we can't do this because we're not going to get the license to Marvel. We can't do this Marvel set because it'll have a different thing." And somebody higher up said, "We'll still make way more money off of the Spider-Man set, even though we have to spend an extra $300,000 to have you guys design a whole nother, the face of the whole nother set."
I don't think that conversation was had. I think this was an afterthought that they realized later. But
I actually think, because remember, the announcement of Universes Beyond being moved into standard products was kind of a surprise, and it was done to, as a way to shake things up. I actually kind of am with Donald on this one. I think when this set was there, they're like, we won't be able to put it on Arena, and the guy, great, it doesn't matter. It can be. We can make it a Commander set. It can be Fallout again.
No, I don't think they realized when they decided to do this.
All these conversations happened back in when they first made the contract with Marvel. Remember, they called it a tentpole release for Marvel every year. They knew that Marvel was going to be involved in standard in 2027.
I don't think they did.
Be involved in a Magic set. I
don't think they
standard set.
I don't think they made the decision that Universes Beyond were going to stand.
They called it the tentpole release. You're telling me that they were like, "Hey, we're going to have a major Marvel release every year."
It could have been straight to Modern, and it wouldn't have had to go on Arena. Now,
that you could convince me of.
You have.
Wasn't Lord of the Rings tentpole, and it was not a standard set. Like, it was straight into Modern.
That also went on Arena, but you could have convinced me that this was going to be. I mean, after the success of Fallout could have been a tentpole release. It was that big of a deal.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Buddy, no.
I don't know, man. Fallout was pretty massive.
No, it was not. From the economy of Magic standpoint, it was nothing. Like, it was absolutely nothing. Like, as a game store, I made less money off of Fallout We got like 12 boxes total of it. You can't. It had nothing to do with the Magic economy. If you think about a major release, Pokemon has the same problem with their.
You did not get 12 boxes. You got as many commander decks as you wanted.
Collector boxes. I'm saying.
Yeah, but the commander decks were the core product there.
Yeah, it's just not the same as a full set, though, man. Like the amount of money, sure, the individual boxes sell and whatever, but the amount of money that's moved for a set like Fallout is far, far less than even like Aether Drift or you're gonna pull up your TCG player data from.
You just said you made a claim. I wanted to see if it's true.
Okay.
I'm not going to show it to everybody. I'm not going to embarrass you because I actually know the answer to this off the top of my head.
Okay. The Fallout numbers are higher than a regular release of Magic.
Oh yeah.
But I think what Josh is saying is you're saying you're talking facts of what, like, it was just a commander deck and it didn't sell as well as what a booster box did. Josh is saying if it was a booster box set, if it was a full set,
no, I'm saying as is, it turned out to be such a big deal. It would have done fine.
But you were saying it could have been a full. It could have been a full like set. It could have been more than just commander decks. Is what you're saying?
Nope.
Okay, I'll just go back to sleep.
No, as it sits, it was that successful, and it legitimately shocked me. Like, it's insane.
Oh, what are the numbers? Tell me the numbers.
Well, what do you want? Boxes sold or money spent?
I want overall spend.
You're about $1 million, $1.2 million ahead of an average Magic the Gathering set.
Over what time frame?
Since its release.
Okay, so what was the release next to Fallout?
The release next to Fallout. Now I gotta scroll through the list and find it. Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
Okay, what was
double the amount of money of Outlaws of Thunder Junction and more than double the amount of money of Murders at Karlov Manor.
Currently, Fallout has sold double the amount of money as Murders at Karlov Manor.
Yes. Well, more than double Murders.
Double. And that includes what? All boxes, all commander decks, everything sold on TCG Player. Interesting.
Dude, Fallout, the commander decks in Fallout were insane. Like, it was crazy. I did not see it coming. I thought it was just going to be... Remember we had Doctor Who was the last big commander release before that? And it was kind of like, oh, this is fine. I expected one of those. No, Fallout went absolutely bonkers.
Interesting.
And maybe that's a weird outlier. Maybe Wizards...
I mean, you might consider that TCG Player is different than an individual store. Like, individually stores, there's way more product lines, there's way more money moved in each individual store for a product line is what
right.
I was.
And having a booster pack on a shelf for $5 is a huge benefit, right? Because someone can come in with $5, drop it, get a booster. Like, that's different than I have to buy. What are my options? A collector booster or a $70 to $80 commander?
Well, my point with the collector boosters is there wasn't enough of them. It was a pointless. It's like with the new Pokemon sets. It's like, what do you want me to do with a restock of 10 prismatic ETBs? What am I supposed to do with that? You mean, like, it's pointless. It's not worth the time that it takes.
Hopefully not leave them on your floor.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that this is one of those things where somebody higher up was like, well, we're doing it this way anyway, and we're still going to make lots of money on it because it's Marvel.
Yeah, there's probably an element of that with every decision, especially when it comes to big money.
This is gonna suck when somebody shows up to play and calls a card the wrong name because they've been playing it on Arena, and it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird. It's not gonna affect me at all because I pretend like Arena doesn't exist though. So
I definitely don't love it. Like it's better than, like we talked about, and Donald and I were like, man, maybe they just do this, they just don't make it. It's better than that, but man, I don't like it.
Why is it called Through the Omen Paths?
That I couldn't tell you.
What the Omen Paths thing that link all the planes? That's how you planes hop, right? Isn't that the?
Why not just call it Universes Within?
But because that, like, the Omen Paths are how Magic characters get into the Marvel universe and then get back. Like, that's their wormhole. That's their
No, money is how Magic characters get to the Marvel universe and back.
They ride
That's
on
how
a
it is.
beautiful Benjamins. I like that. I like that. The money bridge into the Marvel universe.
Speaking of money, Secret Lair came out today, and the foils are twice as expensive now. Everybody, it's because of the tariffs. The foil cards.
I'm sure it is.
More.
Not with a 10-foot pole. Nope.
The foil cards cost more money because of the tariffs.
Presidents who charge tariffs can do anything with their body that they want.
You guys told me the value of each of these cards is like $4.
Well, I think there's one like $9 card in there, and every other card is like a 20 to 30 cent card. And there's only, remember, Secret Lairs were 6 cards, and then they cut them down to 5. And this Secret Lair is 4 cards.
And twice the price.
So $20 more expensive, only 4 cards. And normally, I'm on the side of, you're paying for the special art, you're paying for the treatment. The values, it's just like a booster box. The value's never going to all the way be there. It was not normally $45 off. It wasn't normally pay $60 for $10 worth of cards. Like,
yeah, I will not be buying these ones.
No, me neither. That's insane.
See, but that's the only way that they don't do this again is if people don't buy it. But I just don't see that happening.
I hate that argument.
I just don't see people not buy. Like, people will still buy it. They'll complain about it, but they'll still buy it.
It also costs Wizards like 6 cents to make these cards. So like,
no, this is apparently some pretty famous artist.
Sure. Compared to the sales of which they will get no matter what they do, it's nothing. Like this will not dictate whether or not they do the price difference.
If they made a Secret Lair, and let's say this Secret Lair and it was $60 or whatever, and sold nothing, like just didn't sell, then that's gonna change future products for sure. But the problem is that won't happen. Well, it'll never happen. Like it'll still sell.
The problem is as soon as these don't sell, the secondary market on the cards goes up crazy. Oh, sorry. Then you have a $40 Eska's Chariot because only 6 people bought them and the supply is so low. And, I don't know. Also, these have cats in them. I really like the Realms Uncharted artwork, too. I actually might buy one of these. The Realms Uncharted artwork.
That escalated quickly.
I'm trying to like imagine Donald's world where it's like, oh, we the consumers, we won. We voted with our wallets. The sales would have to be so low.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it would not happen.
I've been watching a lot of South Park again recently, and it's like the episode where music, you're starting to listen to the younger generation's music, and it all sounds like people farting and pooping.
Yeah,
it's like Wizard of the Coast could release a Secret Lair that's farts and poops, and most of us would just buy it.
I would buy the heck out of a fart and poop Secret Lair.
Yeah, that's right up. That is right up Louis' demographic.
I would use a better example. I would spend so much money on the fart and poop Secret Lair. I can't. And if the secret card was a P card, I mean, it would be.
It's just called number 1.
So good.
What if it's serialized and it's number 1 and you get serial number 1?
Here you go.
Oh.
I don't know. I think this kind of stuff. I agree that they test the waters of like, can they double the foil? Like that's what Chaos Vault seems to be. Is like them.
It's their sandbox. It's their playground. They're using us as beta testers.
But I don't know. Who knows? All right. Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em, us the truth.
So,
speaking of tariffs,
no, we're not doing the tariff. The tariff thing is wild because it's all going to change so much. They kind of have spoiled the new cards for the Glory of Team Rocket, which is part of the Destined Rivals set that comes out. You guys are allowed to talk about this now.
Okay. Are we allowed to look now too?
So you guys know the hype that's been beyond the current Pokemon world of the set, right? I've told you guys kind of where we're at with that. Donald knows for sure that I have gone heavier on this set and Final Fantasy as well as a store than I've done any other sets before.
Good luck.
Do you think that these arts live up to the hype of what the current world is thinking?
Am I allowed to say the take that got me yelled at?
Yeah.
For looking at the cards and told not to look at or talk about the cards anymore?
Yeah. Because I wanted to save it for the podcast.
Fair enough. You're good at content. I'm not. I just like to talk to my friends.
That's what the podcast is.
I feel like this is my universe is beyond. For what your universe is beyond is, this is to me. I'm fine with it. It's okay. I'm salty because it isn't the Pokemon that I wanted. When I think Team Rocket, I think Jesse and James and Meowth, and I don't see any of that. But I guess I'm fine with it.
That's been a very common take. Is where's Jesse and James?
Because everyone got back into Pokemon because of 151. That's why everyone got back in.
Yeah. I don't understand how Giovanni's there, but Jesse and James aren't. I know some guys can be like, well, that's because this. Like, I know, I get it. Like, I know there's probably a story there,
but your story's wrong.
Mine is.
If you have a story for why Giovanni's there and Jesse and James and Meowth aren't, then your story's just wrong. Reevaluate your story.
Yeah.
Are these the same? I don't know anything about Pokemon sets. So are these the same arts that will be in the English one as well? It doesn't change.
Yep, okay. Same art. A lot of people are calling it, as the kids would say these days, mid, which apparently means not very good.
This is mid AF, bro.
Exactly. I heard that.
It's totally Skibbity Riz and Sigma.
Well, I knew Skibbity. I didn't know the rest.
I don't know what Skibbity is.
You don't know what Skibbity is?
Skibbity Riz.
What's?
I don't know what it means. I've heard it.
I think Sigma means good.
Does it?
Actually, so this is not Sigma.
Normally, I would turn to the comment section.
That probably means that
nobody in the comment section can tell us this unless you're old enough to have a kid this age.
Sigma's either good or bad. It's one of the extremes. I'm not sure which one. I'll have to ask Joey.
Can I give you guys my biggest Pokemon take these days? It doesn't matter what the arts look like. The only thing that matters for the success of a Pokemon set is how hard is it to pull the special illustration rares. Like the Butthole Pikachu, everybody. Nobody actually likes that card. It's a weird art. It's not very good. Okay? This is the Surging Sparks Pikachu.
This is also not Skibbity Riz.
It's not. It's not.
It's Skibbity Riz toilet.
It's not. It's not.
Wait,
like
there's a toilet in this?
It's
Skibbity Riz toilet. Yeah.
It's basically a Wizards of the Coast secret lair, right? Like it's just proof. No, but like the Pikachu, like it's not that great. It's not like that, but it's hard to pull. And so then you come back and you keep buying boxes and you keep doing all this stuff because the world of Pokemon, nobody wants to just buy the card. They'll spend $1,000 trying to open the card, but they won't spend $150 on the card.
Did I hear what you called it correctly? What did you call it?
The Butthole Pikachu.
You never seen that?
No, I have to go. I'm going to TCG Play to look.
Don't search that. Don't search that.
I'm not searching that. I'm not going to search Butthole Pikachu.
That's what everybody calls it. The Butthole
You cannot. I never made that correlation, and now there's no chance you can unmake that correlation.
Yeah, you can't unsee it once you do see it.
Yeah, that's Butthole Pikachu. That's what everybody calls it. They come into the shop, they're like, can I get some Surging Sparks pack? Yeah, what you chasing? Butthole Pikachu. That's like every day that conversation happens.
I want to say that's just a West Virginia thing, but I don't think it is.
No, it's not. Like this card's not that great looking. It's not that great of a card, but it's hard to pull. And like everyone,
I thought it was really good looking until I actually looked at it. Now don't like it as much.
The crown thing, I am so ready for this whole era of Pokemon to be over. I hate the crown. The crown stuff has to go. It's called, what is it called? Terrestrial, maybe? I don't know. I hate it.
No, I can't.
But like, I think that the Mewtwo, everyone says it looks like a everyone says it looks like a inflatable balloon. I agree with you.
What other Pokemon cards are like butthole cards? And can you get a PSA 10 butthole collection? What do you think that goes for?
I think the Mewtwo looks sick. Like, I like it. I think the Moltres also looks really cool. But
the
really,
only one I like is the second one, the fire one.
yeah, that's the Moltres.
Yeah, I like that one.
That will, I think, be that and the Mewtwo will be the two biggest chases of the set, in my opinion.
I don't like the Mewtwo art. I agree. It's just like the inflatable flailing arm, flailing tube man. It's just
Yeah. I guess I'm a pretty big Mewtwo fan. I think Mewtwo's a really cool Pokemon.
I don't like the rhino looking one. It doesn't fit the style of the rest of them.
That's Nidoking.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I think that photo also is I think that's like a different like that bottom right one is also a different photo. That could be kind of how
it looks like. It looks like more of a scan than a
picture. I think that could be a little bit what you're feeling too. Like the images that I put in there are great.
I see, like, to me, like you're saying, it doesn't matter what the art looks like. It's just how hard it is to pull. And that probably is the case for Pokemon. But like, to me, if I was to collect it, I would want one, like, whatever my favorite Pokemon is. I would go hard on that card. And then if the art was just like off the chain, then that's what I do with the Enchanteds in Lorcana. Like, the only Enchanteds I care about are the ones that I wanted all the Fantasia ones, because Fantasia's means something to me. But then outside of that, like, I only care about the ones that look really sweet. I don't even care what the card is. I just, like, if it's really sweet looking, or if it's Stitch. Like, if it's Stitch, then I want it. But like,
I guess that's how I kind of am with Mewtwo. I think I like Mewtwo. It's one of my top 5 favorite Pokemon, probably.
I think there's probably more people that are collecting cards for the art in Pokemon than most other, like TCGs. Like, I think the art probably matters. It's not just pull rates, but I agree, pull rates is what sends your cards to the moon.
I also look at collecting way different, though. Like, I'm not looking, like, I think your average collector is looking for like highest cost, so, like, stuff that
but I don't think it's as much about costs. I mean, cost is certainly I would say cost is a reaction to the real thing, which is the elusiveness of a card. When a new set comes out, I hear all the time, I can't wait to open it. I want to open a blank, and it's a chase. It's something. It's like if you make it's like, and when you're parenting, this is a terrible analogy if you don't have kids, but if you're parenting and you just like give the kid the prize, like my kids like to try to push me over. Like I'll be on the ground, they'll try to run at me and push me over. If I just fall over, it's not that fun for them. They're like, oh, I push over dad. But if I, not fight,
I want to play that game.
You can't push me over. If I try to
challenge accepted.
If I prevent myself from falling over, I'm not going to say if I fight back, but if I prevent myself from,
if I body slam my kid,
my 4-year-old,
then it's fun for them. And then when I fall over, it means so much more to them. And and that is the same, I think, mechanic that's at play in Pokemon sets, where like if you see your friend pull the card this happened with Obsidian Flames, it was like so easy to pull the Charizard, everybody was like, oh, I don't even care to have it, I don't even want to keep it, because everybody has one, everybody pulled one in their box, it wasn't that cool. So the bigger the set, the more special illustration rares, I think the more popular the set is, because of that kind of elusive nature of the cards. But
maybe I see what is it, Misty's Psyduck and Misty's Lapras in here as well.
Yeah, the Misty Psyduck's a big card.
The Misty Psyduck looks cool. I really like that one.
Yeah.
But this isn't all of the cards. They're going to have something for Ash and Brock too, right?
No.
It's
No.
just Misty?
Ash is done, man.
I know, but
Brock, I haven't seen a Brock card in, I don't know, the last
is Misty still around?
I mean, you can't get rid of Misty.
It's the waifu tax?
I guess so. I guess.
I would think you couldn't have had Pokemon without Ash, and I know Ash retired. I know he
It's red. Or,
He finally caught them all.
I don't think he did. I thought he just quit.
I'm sure there's some lore as to why Misty is still there.
Yeah,
But I think the Rapidish, I heard somebody else pronounce this Rapidish.
it's not Rapidash.
I've always called it
Like
Rapidish.
The word rapid and dash
Yeah,
together.
that's what I've always called. I think that one looks sick, and I think the Houndoom looks really cool too. That's the
You're a Houndoom guy, if I remember
so
correctly.
one of my good friends, one of my new good friends, shout out to Cameron, is a huge Houndoom fan, and since then I've started to. It's not her.
Yeah, I know. She's a little too ahead of you intellectually.
Yeah. Anyway, I think this set's going to do really good. People are. I think the expectations for this set could never have gotten reached. Like, no matter what, it was too high, and I think it's still going to do really well.
I mean, maybe it's. This is a dent in the armor, right? It'll probably still do really well, but it's not everything I was hoping for. This takes a little wind out of the sails.
Listen, if Pokemon boxes are selling for MSRP, I'm happy. Like,
You got a couple more months. Oh, hang on.
that is that you can't complain if Pokemon boxes are selling for MSRP. There's no
And
complaint.
when they go back down to $90 a box, I will still be buying them.
Yeah,
I learned my lesson because I did that through a lot of the last run, and I just happened to have a lot of value that I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for convincing me to do that.
you bet, buddy. Make sure you sell.
Ah, crap. I have the same problem as Donald, and you know it.
I have that problem too, for what it's worth.
Yeah, we're not great. We're not great at this game.
All right. Anything else to add for the podcast?
How long was this episode? It felt like forever.
Good. Hour and 15 minutes. That was
Oh,
pretty
that's not bad. We did a good job today.
Yeah.
Do we have any secret shosh?
Let's play. Donald doesn't know. Donald, we're gonna play Where in the World is George? You have to guess. You have
I
to,
do know.
oh, do you?
He's in. Am I allowed to say?
I don't know. Why not?
Oh,
I don't know.
he's in Seattle.
That was true now. That's fine.
Okay. What do you mean it's true now?
I thought it was gonna be more fun to play this game where
Uh.
Donald had to guess where he was.
He literally told us last week where he was going.
I don't pay attention.
So I'm sorry that I, listen to my friends.
All right.
Well, who lives in a basement under the sea? Louis de George.
Yeah. We painted so that back room, my other studio room, where got rid of all the carpet. Dude, that stuff was so soaked. Got rid of all the carpet and put an in tile floor, and then painting. Have a whole new studio back there. Be great.
Are you gonna bring back the commander string?
I don't know. We'll see. I have some other thoughts.
Did Donald run your production for that? Who pulled up the cards?
Donald and Joey were back here. That's like why I stopped doing it, because I felt so bad to be like, hey, can you guys come over and run the stream?
Well, also, guess who ships all of his stuff? Donald and Joey. So
Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
Donald and Joey can only do so much
I also shipped a lot of stuff today for what it's worth.
because you wanted me to be here.
No, because I had time. I was at the shop. I messed up today. I made a big mistake today.
what'd you do? This is a good secret sauce.
I shipped a whole case of Commander Masters to somebody who they ordered. This section of the podcast is sponsored by the Gold Wizards. One of the Gold Wizards ordered 18 Murders at Karlov Manor decks, or 18 Murders at Karlov Manor boxes, and I shipped them 12 boxes of murders and 1 case 6 boxes of Commander Masters because they're the same size. And distro, I just like whatever.
Wait, of draft?
Yeah, Commander Masters draft. Yeah, the expensive mistake.
Are you gonna call him and be like, "Hey, can you send that back? I'll pay you for it."
He said he'd send it back, so I sent him a return label.
Now, if he said no, are you kicking him out of the Gold Wizard program?
I mean, I don't think they would do that. People are inherently good people.
That's not what I asked you. None of this is.
If he kept it, would I kick him out of the Gold Wizard program for receiving my mistake? I think so. I think that would probably be.
The way you framed that earlier was like, I'm going to do the White Knight thing. You're like, that's a lot. That's an expensive case.
It's not about the money. It's about the integrity. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, the integrity of
I think that, like, most people have integrity, and like I own the mistake, and
most people also have the ability to read the box before they send it up the door. So, like,
most people weren't rushing to try to get the mail to the post office before it goes out today. I should have just not gotten it out today. I should have just waited till tomorrow.
You move fast, you make mistakes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. That's the podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Who knows? Have yourselves a great day. Go subscribe to Scruffy Looking Gaming. Go subscribe to Hometown TCG. And remember, be kind to the people around you. May the zoo be with you.
And also with you, dudes.
And also with you, dudes.
Thank you.